Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 148. The TWID makes its return, and an okay week going on in Destiny this time in the season. GMs are going, Starcross missions in full swing, and people are upset over the checkmate changes, something in PvP, and then drama about what's the difference again between mouse and keyboard and controller in PvP. So, what did you all do this week?
Played Call of Duty, ran a GM. Did all this seasonal story stuff is done, but I still did go in and the stuff I needed to try to get. I think I ran over the weekend. I did run a Warlord's Ruin, so I didn't get the exotic. And still need to get a couple Crotas. I need like 3 more Crotas.
I need like 5 or 6 more and a master run, or at least, well, no, because you need a master on each encounter.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be bad though. We got 2 Crota day 1, so we should be okay.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Call of Duty with Fox probably about a week ago, and I kind of reached my wit's end with the Battle Royale portion of that game. So
Fair enough.
it wasn't
Just been working on National Pokédex.
It wasn't an uninstall level of frustration, but it crossed my mind.
It wasn't. I don't understand. Like, that all you have to do is just hop on Twitch or YouTube for like 5 minutes and just see like how much easier it is on controller, and then you shouldn't get mad about it ever.
True.
It's literally like if you die, you're like, I know they were using a controller.
Yeah.
Like the way it like snaps your aim at like 80 meters is stupid.
Mm-hmm. I did get a controller for Christmas. I should probably just plug it in when I play Call of Duty and didn't see how it goes.
What kind of controller did you get?
I don't know. It's just like it's just an Xbox controller, generic. So
yeah. I found something pretty crazy looking for a keyboard or a mouse the other day.
Yeah.
I apparently bought an Xbox One /PC version of the original Xbox controller at some point. Like the big dog, which was like one of my all-time favorite controllers. And it's like a USB, it's like a wired Xbox One controller. And I was like, man, part of me wants to go through and play Halo, like just for the nostalgia of that. Because that's the controller I used all through original Xbox. Like I had two. One of them I paid like $140 on eBay for, like one still sealed in package.
Oh, okay.
That like I had for when I first got my Xbox. They had already came out with like the smaller controllers, but I traded it for like 2 of my friends that had the bigger ones. And then once I started getting like drift or button sticks on those, I bought that one off eBay. So I love that controller, man. Felt so good with these monstrous hands.
Yeah.
Controller you could grip.
Yeah, in the chat, my wife was like, "You got a controller for Christmas, just use it."
Yeah. Yeah, she probably has to hear it worse than we do, because like you can't let it go. So I'm sure you complain about it after afterwards.
Not too much. I mean, she does hear a little bit of it.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. One more bullshit death. I quit.
Yep.
And I'm laughing. I like mute myself and laugh. Tiffany doesn't know what to do. Everybody's uncomfortable. And I'm just like howling, laughing.
Yep.
Like, you guys think this is bad? You should try to raid with him 14 hours in on the first date.
Yep. Yeah, we got a TWID this week. So this is the first TWID after like, what is it, 5 weeks? 6 weeks?
It was like mid-December, early to mid-December.
Yep. It did give us some stuff to look forward to. And some
See, the
currency.
Buckeyes hired Bill O'Brien,
To do what?
OC.
Yeah, my wife, she just says she avoids me when I play Call of Duty. So, yep. Yeah, it does. It does put me in a bad mood. So
All right.
you need to fix your username and then like your icon on YouTube to be your Twitch stuff. So like your Twitch picture that you have on there, like your avatar and stuff. At some point, it just shows up as an N. All right, you all ready to hit the record button?
It'd be
Oh,
nice if
I
it'd be
need to
nice if
join.
you joined the Zencaster, but you know, whatever.
Nah, we don't need that. We got this, dog. You can just rip only his audio from the YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time.
Oh, that isn't yours, YouTube. Okay.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
Eyes up, Guardians. We are live for episode 148 of the Conqueror's Corner podcast. Today is Thursday, January the 18th. I am the Destiny bad boy, not Ryan Fox, and I have returned with my fire team, who all of you CCBs know by now. Chad Ocero.
Wow, changing it up. That sounds pretty good. Not ready for it, but very excited to get into a lore book today for once.
And everybody's favorite hunter, Jared.
Yeah, so we got some currency changes that's coming this season, and also stuff to look forward to help bridge the gap till final shape.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. But don't forget, you can take us on the road via Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast services. Make sure you subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Click the bell, turn on notifications, yada, yada, yada. Follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send us bunch of friend requests so we can play games together. We did get a TWID this week, and it is so back. But before we get into that, let's listen to the intro music from everybody's favorite Link, who you can find on Twitter at LinkOfTimeG. 105.
Easy peasy.
Way under.
Ryan's on a roll. He wants to get this over with.
Yeah. Well,
He's like, I don't have a third monitor. I need to get this out of here.
well, focus this week.
Okay.
You guys can't hear the living room TV in my background or
Nope.
anything, right?
I can only hear you right now.
Okay.
Big boy.
Click the button. Wow, Link. Awesome job. Thank you. Jared?
All right, everyone. This week in Destiny, January 18th, it's finally back. It's kicking off with showing if you kind of took some time off, just like Bungie did, some things you could have missed in game story wise. That's the big cutscene between Riven and her level, and what they did to escape the Great Hunt. So that's pretty good. And then Crow, they made him out as like he made this incredible sacrifice, but in reality, he got to go on an amazing ride, and nobody else did. So he went into the portal that would fulfill the 15th wish from Riven. So we're waiting to hear back from him.
You think we hear back from him probably in June?
Maybe like 2 weeks before June.
Okay. Around
the finale of the season.
The end of May.
Yeah, we get like a radio message in the helm.
You be like, "Hey guys, I'm in here, dog," and then that's it.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't bring any toilet paper. Can you bring some through? Would he come? No.
You could just use one of the weird hands that are coming out of the ground all over the place.
You'd be a little whiny, a little more whiny than that too, I'm sure.
All right. With the changes to legendary shards being, deappreciated when it comes to next season, basically have no value. Try to spend them while you can this season. The Glimmer cap is going to go up on January 30th. So it's going to go up from 250,000 to 500,000. So literally doubling. And this Glimmer is still going to be used whenever you have to craft weapons, focus engrams, masterwork weapons, and armor. And then your gear will just have the increased capacity to carry the Glimmer magically. So they kind of make it to where, like, with that phrasing, it's just like initially our Guardian can only carry so much Glimmer, even though it's these little data cubes that we act like we're struggling to carry. So anyways, that's good. I like that it's going up.
Yeah. Woo.
I mean, you could spend a little bit of legendary shards.
Yeah. How many do you have still to burn through?
So there was a couple weeks ago when the gunsmith was selling a dire promise that if you purchased it, you could just destroy it for enhancement cores. So I did that. So I got it down to like 1,000 shards to just like float for the rest of the season.
Yeah, because you can spend the shards on the weapon, and then you spend the shards to buy Glimmer to then continue to buy the weapon and just keep that cycle going.
Mm-hmm.
I missed it that last time. I saw it the next day, and I was like, "Dang it!"
Yeah. Like I think I was around, I would say 10,000 shards, and that turned into about 500 of the cores.
Yeah. Not too bad.
All right. This next session of TWID, I have named it Fix Your Face, Sweetheart. If you're not familiar with Southern language, whenever I call somebody sweetheart or bless your heart, it's actually like basically cussing you out because you're dumb and stupid. Bungie has now made it to where you can fix your Guardian's face inside of Destiny. So if you made a bad decision back in Destiny 1 all those years ago, basically almost 10 years now, you can go in there and change it. You can change how the body, the face, if it's masculine or feminine, you can change those things, and you cannot change the race. So if your hunter is awoken, it's going to be awoken unless you want to delete it and start over.
Gross. How bad is yours?
We should probably, see how bad they are, but no, like
my hunter's pretty bad.
Yeah, my hunter's like a very generic exo. There's nothing like really anything about it. I do have one of all three. So the Titan's a human and the Warlock is awoken. So I always like going to the Dreaming City on Awoken because you get some different dialogue a little bit here or there because they call you cousin or something like that. But
Cuz Unc.
Yeah. Yep.
My hunter that was like my day one, my beta character, and then I made it in day one, and he has it's a human with just blue hair that's like a top knot, and like a tattoo that comes like from the cheek up over the eye and onto the forehead. It's like 3 lines that come up and angle out. It's so bad, so bad. But at this point, I probably still won't change it. Like I just gotta ride with it, I think, at this point.
Well, the good news is, based on the picture, it looks like you can go from body type 1 or 2.
Chad's about to get thick.
Yeah, my Titan is, yeah.
it's
Heck yeah.
just like diabetes 1 and 2.
Yeah, type 1, type 2.
Pretty much, yeah. But no, my Titan's just an EXO, so it's like, well, the Titan, the Titan, female armor looks better. So I'm like, yeah, no. Titan's gonna have some hips, and I'm all about that. The Awoken's this gonna stay the same, maybe change the hairstyle or something. I'm wondering if they're gonna add some. I don't think they will.
No way.
Monetize it.
Way.
Monetize it.
Monetize
No,
it.
they said they wouldn't.
The face pack.
They would.
Yeah, not this time around, but next season. Like, hey, we got this new hairstyle that you can purchase for 300 silver.
What hairstyle? I mean, it'd be cool if I could get if I could get a mullet and the hair comes out of the back of the helmet. Like,
There you go.
I think that's something I'd spend my 800 silver I've been
Or you
hanging
could just
on
toggle
to.
the helmet off in gameplay, so you're just mulleting out
sweet-
everywhere.
Just a sweet dirty mullet.
I can imagine you load into the raid on the Witness and you're just mullet flowing in the wind.
Yeah, so they did say this is going to be free. To change all of this, so that's good. So I imagined Reddit would have lost their mind if you had to pay for this.
I didn't think there was any chance it would be free.
Yeah.
This is the easiest $10 they could get off of people. And the people that would pay it multiple times.
Yeah. I mean, if it was just like 100 silver per time you changed it. But yeah. But I do foresee some special styles coming that you can eventually pay for.
That would be the only reason it makes sense to spend the time to fix this now. There's one more major expansion that's planned that we know of. So either they're really planning to extend the life of Destiny 2, and that's part of why I'm like this. It just seems weird to do like this goodwill thing now. It doesn't add up.
All right, next up, it's time to vote again. So Festival Lost, we are 9 months away from that kicking off. It's time to vote for what style we want the next ornament set to be. So we have good wizards versus evil wizards. And the good wizards more have like a blue tint to most parts of it, and then like a cyan blue like in the face and some of the class items. Evil wizards, more darker, more leather, and then they have a pink, a vibrant pink. I don't know what kind. I don't know my shades of pink very well. That kind of will be traced throughout it, and then on the face and chest. One of these two sets stand out to you, and what one are you going to be voting for?
Evil all day. Already voted.
Evil.
So here's the
night.
thing.
Yeah.
Evil is so popular that it's actually becoming good. So if you really want to be evil, you would vote for the good wizards.
I know you're trying to spin zone, but it's not gonna work. You're not getting that spin zone in.
I liked the armor aesthetic of the Titan good one, but I like the evil on the other ones better. So I'm like, because if you can if you shaded the Titan one, I'd like the good better, but the other two I like the evil one better.
Really, I just looked at one thing, and that was the hunter like hat or like the sorting hat almost. It's from Harry Potter.
The hat cloak.
Yeah, I just like, all right, the hunter hat looks better
rad.
on evil wizard, so I was like, I'll just use that one.
Yeah. I wasn't crazy about the gold or whatever was on the good, like that, like gold color. I wasn't crazy about that. That was the primary difference. I wasn't crazy about that purplish pink on the evil, but I liked it more than I liked the gold. Wasn't a lot of difference in the warlock hat, in my opinion.
It's a little droopy.
Looks like they're 35 and older. You know what I mean? But
the one thing I don't like too much about the evil wizard set is like how pointy some of the stuff is, and like pointy boots on the Titan and the warlocks. Like, how many times do they got to just throw these stupid toe points like the elves in on the boots? It's ridiculous.
I don't know. I wish I could get like, you know, that gambit, like that snake. I wish I could get some snake skin boots.
Okay, yeah.
Or like gator skin or something. I would definitely rock with that if it was possible.
All right. Next part of the TWID is just talking about how the Witchkeeper mission is in full go, and you need to get that Ghost Catalyst done, and there's some additional this is the week it opened up the portal. That's in the last bit. You can go see what's going on with that. So it's actually, go run that a handful of times. And then one thing I forgot to mention that is also kicking off on January 30th is the Riven Wishes and Moments of Triumph kicking off on January 30th. We don't really know what the Riven Wishes are going to be. But next week's TWID will have details on the Wishes and Moments of Triumph. And then finally, Game to Give is
probably going to be in that coil again.
Oh
yeah.
There's a lot of it.
Man,
why do you hate the coil so much, man? It's I think it's a pretty great seasonal. It's the most rewarding seasonal activity we've had. What is it?
If you get a good team. My blueberry luck's awful. Every time I go in, I get stuck on the second boss. Because
are you fire team finding?
No, I'm not fire team finding.
That's your issue.
But again, no, that's my issue. No, my issue is just my luck. Even if I fire team find, I might get to the third boss. I might be able to smash that third boss. I believe that would be the case.
I've had pretty good luck just doing regular queuing and getting in there. I must just be carrying people, I guess. Game to Give is up and going, so there's a lot of streams that's going on about raising money for kids in the Bungie Foundation. So there's lots of different ways to earn stuff and what they give, but if you want to get into that, there's some links, there's some t-shirts to go get, there's stuff on the Bungie store, that merchandise to go buy, which is a portion of that money is of course going to go towards raising money for kids. I've seen that the Destiny 2 community is already getting close to $1 million raised already. I've seen that Jake Lackey already tweeted out about it. So whenever you get attention from these people that only post, CS:GO and Call of Duty clips, it's a pretty big deal. So,
who was it that posted it? You said
Jake Lackey. That guy he only reports on like gaming news and like streamer news. Yeah.
I thought you said Jake Lucky. I was like, is that the dude whose Twitter's name is Jake Sucky? Cracks me up. Like his name is Jake Lucky, but his handle's Jake Sucky.
All right. That is it for the TWID this week. And now it's time to hear about Zencastr.
Hear about the origin story of your favorite podcast, the Conqueror's Corner, a Destiny podcast. About 150 weeks ago, I was talking to the guys. I'm like, hey, well, you guys want to start a Destiny podcast? The one I listen to isn't very good anymore. Both people agree, and I'm trying to like talk it up, and I'm like, I'll do the part nobody wants to do, and I'll do the editing and get it uploaded on the website so that way it shows up. And well, I realized once they agreed to it, I was kind of in over my head. So did some Google searching, stumbled upon Zencastr, and it has been a lifesaver. It makes everything super easy. You just get on your browser and you get a high quality podcast right away, studio quality sound, and up to 4K video with your guest. Multi-layered backups. You always have recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection's unstable. So basically the way it works is I get a link, I send it out to the fellas. They join, and then we check to make sure we got squiggles. And while we are recording, it is kind of uploading as we are recording. So it records everything locally and then uploads it onto like Zencastr's website. It also backs up in like a Google Drive if you set it up that way. And I can get in there and have everybody's individual tracks. So if Jared says a cuss word, I can go in and, slice that out and make sure it doesn't show up. And it makes it sound awesome. They have a post-production you can go through. It makes you sound buttery smooth. It removes ums and ahs and gets everybody's volumes kind of set at the same level. Because if you've ever tried to listen to a podcast with terrible audio, that's the first thing you hear. And I can't make it through more than usually 30 to 60 seconds. I'm kind of at my limit if it doesn't have great audio. So this will set that up for you. So once you're done with that, they will also host your podcast and put it on Spotify, Apple, other major podcast services. So we do have a special code for you guys. If you go to zencastr.com/pricing, zencastr.com/pricing, and use our code DestinyCCPod, you do get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. This will give you the same easy experience that we have for all of our podcasting and content needs. And if you do sign up, make sure you hit us a link with your podcast. We'll give it a listen and we'll shout it out during this part of the episode. So whenever we first got this, I sent Chad over to the website to log in. And Chad, what did it look like when you went over there?
So once you go to that link that Mr. Not Ryan Fox just gave us, it sends you to a pricing menu. So you can see all of their plans, their pricing right there, plain as day. It shows you each of the options and what they come with. And then if you scroll all the way down, you can actually put in a coupon code and you can put in Destiny CC Pod. And right there on the menu, it changes it immediately. So you don't have to click through the menus, make your selections, put in any credit card information or anything like that. It shows it really transparently right there, plain as day, super easy.
So once again, go to zencastr.com/pricing, zencastr.com/pricing. Use our code DestinyCCPod. Save 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. There's also a link that will be in the description. Jared, back to our normal scheduled programming.
All right, now it's time for 3 likes and 3 dislikes. This is just something that went on during the week that we liked or disliked happening in gaming. I'll go ahead and start off with my like, and this starts with just a little bit of hopeful thinking. And that's just that moments of triumph will bring some of our buddies back to get some of this stuff done. Hopefully there's like a cool shader or an emblem, ornament, something that's going to draw people back in to want to run back through these moments of triumph and get stuff done. It usually means going back and playing everything that kind of came out over the year, maybe at least one time. So, I know me and Chad have talked about, we got to get back in and go to the deep and do at least one more arc run and then complete the catalyst for Navigator. It's just we wasn't a fan of the dungeon, so we just didn't get some of that stuff done. So
I don't even know. Did we do a catalyst run at all in that dungeon?
Nope. We all got our
I think
navigators, and that
I
was
think
the
we all
last
got it,
one we
and
ever
we're
did.
like, nah, nah, we good.
Yep.
So, and we should also have what? So we'll have 2 raids, 2 dungeons. So we'll have like Warlord's Ruin, Ghost of the Deep, Crota's End, and
Root of Nightmares.
Root of Nightmares. I wanted to say Vow of the Disciple, but I knew that wasn't it. Root of Nightmares. Which Root of Nightmares, we all have our seal, right?
No,
SEAL
you
Team
know
3?
the answer to that question, which is why you're asking.
Oh.
You know the answer.
You don't
Well,
have it?
listen.
For those of you that like to listen, Mr. Not Ryan Fox is laughing maniacally because he knows the answer to this question.
My bad, man. I thought you had it.
I don't have any of the raid seals almost, just the old ones.
Yeah, I want to get a Petra's Run. Do you think they'll make you do a Last Wish since it was kind of Riven themed?
They'll probably make you do a last wish, and I still need to do last wish because I'm missing like 17 different weapon red borders.
Okay. Listen, I'm always down for a Last Wish. I would like to legitimately put in some Petra's Run attempts, though. We have the team to do it. It was just we just need to block out like 3 hours to actually do it. So maybe we just all need to get snowed in and do it then. So yeah, man, that should be fun. What's not going to be fun is it's going to make you do some trials and that kind of stuff in there, I would imagine. But what I wish it was is I wish it made you do every raid at least once. I think that would be good and drive that community engagement up. We got plenty enough time to do it, you know what I mean? And especially like with Fireteam Finder, I think it'd be cool if there was one that was like you complete a raid with 3 members of a clan and Fireteam Finder or something like that. That could be pretty fun to get. So I don't know. Looking forward to it though.
All right, and my like is being able to take the helmet off my hunter in Lightfall. That helmet has been glued on since the option to not take it off has been an option that I figured out. So just it's like 2 different changes that I'm gonna make, and I'm like, cool, we're good. That's it, we're done. Because once you do that too, it takes off the hood. When you take off the helmet, and I don't want the hood on, but I also don't want the helmet off. So
Is your
I'm
Titan
good.
gonna have long hair or short hair?
My Titan's an EXO. So no hair, don't care.
If it did have hair, would it have long hair or short hair?
Long.
What color would it be?
Why?
Just curious.
I don't like this line of questioning.
Okay. My like this week is difficult Grandmaster Nightfalls. So we did decide to hop on the other night and quote unquote quickly run a PsyOps Battleground Cosmodrome Grandmaster Nightfall, and I think we beat it on our 3rd attempt. You can watch it all on our YouTube channel. I believe it's titled as a walkthrough. So it's more of a walkthrough of what not to do at first. But I did put a comment on there that if you go to the comments and look, it's a link to the time where the winning run starts. So I would recommend you start there. I would not watch the beginning, the other parts, and see how we wiped as a team. Very embarrassingly. Dislike, I only need one more red border of like the flower guns from the what were they? The Vex offensive weapons.
Yeah.
I need one more like optative or subjunctive or something. And then
Guaranteed that
after I
once we
get
do the legend, then you're done.
yeah. And then once we do the 3 more runs of Crota, I'll have all the red borders done. And it kind of makes me sad. That was like my primary drive this season or this year was to get all those done. Thankfully, the exotic rotator mission, having those like guaranteed red borders in earlier in this Destiny year, really helped me get some of those that I didn't have before.
Right. My dislike is that lore books are still classified in the API, which means I cannot copy and paste them. It is really annoying. I'm like, it's week 8, dude. Why are these still classified? Whatever.
I think
That's a
they've
me
been on
problem.
Christmas break. They just got back.
Somebody just forgot to push the button. All right, my dislike is going to be only having 4 options in that first column of the artifact. It's really that antivirus sidearm being dead on arrival and just being included in a season that is 6 months long is just absolute torture, is what Bungie has done to us. And then to like make it to where when these GMs have anti-barrier, I have to run an exotic with anti-barrier, or I'm just gonna just like, oh, I'll just try to stack up solo hits to get radiant that way. So I might pull out Vex Mythic class and try doing that to get radiant and stuff, but just ridiculous. Like that needs to be changed.
You could just like sidearms more.
I mean, I could just be better at the game too, and just like not have to play Grant. And I could just like grind trials and go flawless too.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool if you could carry us to the lighthouse every week.
Mm-hmm.
How many? So I was thinking, coming up with my like and dislike this week. We got a lot more months of likes and dislikes. So I feel like we're gonna have a lot more dislikes than likes the longer this season goes.
Well, we can figure out likes in different ways, you know. Like it could be a week like Beat Ups came out with a new sauce, so that's all like for the week.
Yeah. Man, I wish I had some
Collective
Beat
like.
Ups right now. Some hot Barbie, some teriyaki.
I'm surprised how long it's
That's
been in
pretty
there.
killer.
I feel like Heart Barbecue is about to go away.
Don't talk like that.
I mean, they're
I
still
know
saying
you're right, but
You
don't
can't-
talk like that.
You can't jinx anything. That doesn't exist. How can him saying that out in the world mean a thing?
We're talking about serious stuff like wing flavors, not Chad's chance of getting an exotic.
All right.
All right, I believe that takes us to Gambling Corner. So I think that Piper got paid in a couple different ways this week. So Gambling Corner, my personal favorite segment of the podcast. Each season, each of your favorite podcasters starts off with 10,000 glimmer in the bank, and nearly every week we make bets with our 10,000 glimmer. And if at any point we become bankrupt during the season, we have to sacrifice weapons out of our vault. The more valuable or the better the roll or the more rare the weapon is, the other 2 members of the podcast determine what the value of that weapon is to buy back in for it. So let's say you have, like, I don't know, off the top of my head, the gnawing hunger that everybody has, that you can no longer acquire, and you were to offer that up, then that would be worth more because gnawing hunger is currently not obtainable in the game, even though everybody has it always. They'd still probably fetch
Everyone
a
has
pretty
it.
good value. So we had a couple outstanding bets currently going on. So we had the closest time on our next Crota's End raid. We didn't get that done. So I'm hoping this week we'll get it done. We had the first to get the Warlord's Ruin exotic. And then it looks like there's a special message right below that. But it looks like Chad perhaps got that exotic. So Chad, tell us how it happened.
We beat the boss, and then I got it.
Cool. And how is it? Do you like it? Do you want to rate
I
it?
haven't fired a single shot out of it.
You sound like
I
me.
ran around looking for green
Uh,
ammo and didn't find it, and I haven't played since.
Cool. Does it look cool when you have it in your hands?
It looks cool. It looks really dope. I mean, it's the Scorn crossbow, so it's really neat. But yeah, still don't know how it feels, don't know how it sounds, don't know literally anything about the gun except how it looks.
Maybe next week you can fill us in on. You can give us a rating of it from
Oh yeah,
let's
definitely.
say from like a A. If A is the best, and let's say go from like you want to do 1 to 10 or like a A to F scale?
Let's do 110.
1 to 10.
Mm.
Is 1 high or 1 low?
1 is low.
Low.
1 sucks.
Okay. Or if you would rather do that, we can do tiers. You can put it in like S tier, A tier, B tier.
1 to
Okay.
10. It's too
And
complicated. Give me numbers.
the last bet that we got paid off was our Grandmaster Nightfall run we discussed earlier. We did total deaths, and I guessed 8, Chad guessed 11, Jared guessed 7, and there were a lot. There were 19, and that was in our 4th run. I think we were all just kind of trying to get it done. One of us may have died double the other 2, maybe. We'll let you guys figure that out. Watch the video if you wish to figure that out. That's only counting the winning run. That's not even counting our loser runs that we had. So current standings, Chad has 20,000 glimmer. Jared and I each have 5,000. Pretty sure Chad's won every single bet that we've had.
Yep.
And we are going to have to buy back in this season. It seems. At least one of us, probably both of us, and probably twice, if I had to guess at this rate. Because Chad will slow play it and won't do anything to put himself in jeopardy.
So I was thinking about it, Fox. I know I have 2 weapons that you just absolutely just can't get anymore. So that's that Gnawing Hunger, that Overflow Rampage.
And everybody has?
Yep. And then the other one that everybody has is the Created Role of Nation of Beasts, the Outlaw Dragonfly.
Yeah, I do have.
No, that one's not real.
Yeah. So
I've heard of that, but it's not real.
It's crazy. They took that roll away with the crafted roll. Like you can't even craft it. You can't even get that. So like it's literally impossible to get now. Even though Nation of Beasts is in the game.
Yeah. So those would have to be like $8,000 or $9,000.
No, I think those are 10s. Like
are they 10s?
That's the definition of it.
They might be 10s. It's literally, I'm fine with those being 10s, but I don't know. I don't know if I could give them up because stupidly, the last time I cleaned my vault out like 2 seasons ago, I had like 3 of those curated Nation of Beasts in the vault and cleared them out because I needed space for my 114th god roll of some weapon that I'm never going to use. So that was really dumb on my part. So I think I have like 1 of each of those in the vault, and I really don't want to get rid of them, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I'm sure there's like a couple of adept raid weapons that I'm not going to use. I mean, they got to be worth something, like 3 or 4. But
yeah, I have like the Rooted Nightmares. What is it, like Acacia's? Whatever the
trace rifle.
Trace rifle is. Yeah, it's kind of trash. But we are going to be SEAL Team 3 in here, so we might be able to. Might want to hang on. But like the other issue is I'm like pretty close to the point of needing to do a vault clear out, but I don't want to do it because I feel like I'm about to be bankrupt. So that's kind of where I'm standing.
We need have a bet.
We need a bet.
Yeah.
We need a bet for this week. So what if we 2 things. We know that we're doing a star-crossed because we have 1 more for that, right?
Yeah.
So, do you have any sort of idea for a Starcross bet, or would you rather? The other thing that I had kind of thought was coil run, where we try to guess the score.
Okay.
Oh, that one's more interesting. The only thing that I would say about the Starcrossed is if we went in on our third character, not our main, not our secondary. We went in on third characters, and then maybe guessed for time.
What's ever
Our
my third
deaths.
character is a hunter for sure. Like way
You're saying it's
definitely
a
a
hunter.
hunter.
I would. It's so close. I'll have to like try to go find something to tell me because I'll just go in spurts to where like I'll play hunter like 75% of the time, and then the other 25% for like 2 weeks would be warlock, and then the next 2 weeks would be a titan. So
Yeah.
but I think it's titan for this season. I think it's titan is number 3 because sunbracers are so broken.
So whichever you guys want to do is fine with me.
I'm sure we could do one and then do the next one later.
I don't. The only bad part is if I do Starcrossed on my third character, do I have like if I'm not caught up on that quest, am I still gonna get credit?
You're right.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I'm not.
because the only way we can find
Not
out is
about
if you
that.
load in. Because if you load in and go to Mara and she has the quest at the current step, then you're like, okay, I'm good. But we don't know that until after the podcast. So
Yeah. Let's throw a. I can pause it. Let's throw a pause on. I'll check real fast. All right, I'm paused on the actual podcast.
Okay. Well, the live stream's still going, so
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Give the people what they want right here.
I was trying to think because I was literally just gone on one of my alts and I remember picking up a quest from Mara, but I don't remember if it was like auto, like it told
My
me.
question is like, if I wonder if it's something that we can like grab from the kiosk or some shit.
what I do know
And
is
then-
when I grab it from Mara on a character, it's at the current step on my other characters, but my other characters are also at the same step in the story. They've all completed it.
I haven't even
So,
touched this.
Yeah, that's why
touched-
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure I've opened up a other character this season.
You're gonna load up a
Like,
hunter and it's gonna
Like
put
I'm
you
gonna
in the
get a
story
I'm gonna get a
immediately.
cutscene. I'm gonna get a cutscene
Mhm.
whenever this starts.
Yep.
Chad, how did you never get a good gnawing hunger?
I don't know.
Like you
say.
play more than the rest of us.
I couldn't say. I also couldn't say
No,
how I didn't get a
he
Nations
got-
of Beast.
He got the original, but remember the sunset, and then you only had one season to grind for it.
A great sunset.
Mhm. But like, you know how many chests I opened in Last Wish to get Taken Barrier, and I didn't get a single
Dude.
good roll of any guns except the sniper. I did get a snapshot
Kill clip.
opening shot
Snapshot.
or of the sniper.
Snapshot.
It was like snapshot kill clip was like the roll.
Yeah, but like that's all I got. I didn't get a good anything else. And that was through the 1,700 chests I opened in that raid.
Dude.
Well, if you would have earned it,
Yeah.
you would have got it.
That does make me. That does make me miss stuff like Scourge of the Past,
Yeah.
Crown of Sorrow.
All right, I'm coming in. Let's see what this.
Leviathans.
See what
are,
Chad's. See
I
what
don't-
Chad's.
I
woman
don't
has to
miss
say
them.
here.
I don't miss them as much.
Travel to the Dreaming City.
They just need to give a wish wall for all the raids. That way you can
Wait,
skip the opening encounters on these stupid ones. Because like if you could skip Crown of Sorrow opening encounter, be fun. Be a good one. Just get in
listen,
and out
not just not to step on the mailbag, but it's been like 1,764 days since that was even a
Yeah.
possible raid.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yep.
It says Constellation Wish, step 1 of 5, travel to the Dreaming City.
Oh, that might be the current one.
It is the current one.
Look
then.
up. Okay, look up at the ceiling. See how many constellations are up there.
3.
Yeah, then you're on the current one.
Mhm.
Okay. And I am on my hunter for sure because I've got this stupid ass jump.
Yeah.
All right, well, there we go.
All right. Clicking the resume. All right, we're back after that short pause. So after a quick load in on my hunter, we are able to do the current quest step. So we will be doing it on our third characters. And what did we decide we want to do? Do we want to do time? Deaths?
Closest time for the legend?
Closest time for the legend. I don't even know what our other...
I don't recall either because you don't get the mission end like summary on that. You'll have to do an API thing.
Oh, you have to see activity, like
Mhm.
see the last
Yeah.
activity, how long it took.
Yeah.
That we'll have to take into account the portal thing because I think we'll have to subtract
No, the mission timer
minutes.
still does it at the end.
the mission timer. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So like the
Chad,
it wouldn't
listen,
end.
like you're going to have to go first for the next bit because you have such a lead. So
Yeah.
whether it's fair or not, it doesn't matter. You're going first for the next several.
Well, if we're all on our worst characters and we don't have a well,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
it's gonna be 2 hunters and a titan. Just one bonk and a bunch of shooty boys.
Might go.
Gosh.
What's,
Okay.
What's the boots, Chad, that makes sun sparks that helps your teammates?
Phoenix Cradle.
Phoenix Cradle. That would
Yeah, because then you can everybody can get sunspots.
Yeah.
The buff. I have been having fun with the shards of Galanor.
Mm-hmm.
With the all the stuff that's going on with solar, you can get that super back real fast. Okay. I'm just gonna throw 50 minutes.
Jared, you want to go second this week or second next week?
I'll go second next week.
All right, I'm going to say 51 minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna leave Chad a little bit of space here because I think we're gonna be a lot better than what y'all are thinking. But I'm gonna go like 42 minutes.
Okay.
Love it in space.
That's
What does that give
minutes. That's minutes of space, dude.
I mean,
yeah,
I-
when he has a whole 42
could-
ahead.
I could have went 49. Could have went 49.
It's true. It's true. You're
And
not
I could have
wrong.
went 50-01, which I did very much consider. So, okay. So that's Gambling Corner. Chad is kicking our butts, but sometimes that's the price you pay. Scared money don't make no money. If I ever go broke, I'm gonna take your money. Meek Mill. So that takes us to the war. What you got for us this week, Chad?
All right. So this week we are going to be getting into the Dragon Slayer's lore book. Very long excerpts from that. So it's going to be a 3-parter, 2 chapters apiece. So we're going to start off with the first chapter, Valis Forge's Prologue. We need not see these local administrations as challenges to the Empress's rule, Councillor Tarun said to the assembled war council. In truth, they may be keeping the whole fleet from descending into anarchy. I don't give war beasts turd if they are, sneered Valus the Arg. This is treason. We should dispatch a legion to re-establish order. A murmur of agreement bubbled up from the assembled Cabal commanders. Empress Keitel regarded the handful of holographic blips hanging over the council table. They represented refugees from her sundered homeworld, adrift on massive starships in deep space. The remainder of their entire civilization reduced to digital aspects. And what say you, Valus Saladin? The Empress asked. We have a saying on Earth, the Iron Lord replied. There are two ways to move a war beast, with a chunk of flesh or with your fist. This situation calls for both. The assorted commanders grunted in assent. So it shall be, the Empress declared. Tarun, dispatch a shipment of goods immediately with all luxuries included. If conservation of resources is the pretext for their authority, let us remove it. Valus the Rog, she continued, you shall be my fist. Send an echelon to guard the shipment from fallen raiders. Reassert my authority in no uncertain terms. The Empress stamped her foot lightly on the ship's deck. The matter was settled. Very well, Tarun said. Our next item is... The counselor stopped mid-sentence, interrupted by a pleasant ringing octave that seemed to come from inside her own head. Everyone in the council perked up. They heard it too. They turned their attention to the closest doorway. Optus Corix, the Empress said, her voice laced with concern. Come in. The telepathic tone dissipated. The scion entered, her lone eye unshielded by a helmet. Gradually, a series of images bloomed in the council's imaginations. The witness, portal, Savathun, Eris Morn, Wishing Wall, Spire, Eggs, Ahamkara, Riven. The room was gripped by tense silence. Keitel had avoided bringing up the witness, thus far because, despite their best efforts, the Cabal were helpless to breach the portal. The Empress knew that the resulting feeling of impotence made her commanders rash. They were ill-accustomed to dread. At least now they had a path forward. The Vanguard has a habit of playing with forces they cannot hope to control, Councillor Tharek muttered. The fact that we are resurrecting the Ahamkara at all is proof they can be controlled, Saladin replied coolly, or at least eliminated. Ah yes, the Empress said, your famed Great Hunt. If I recall the Mythkeeper Ozcha's lessons, you were integral to their execution. Is that not so? It is, Saladin replied with reluctance. The Ahamkara were deemed too dangerous to live, so we killed them. Valus the Rog shrugged impatiently. The Cabal would have done the same. You would have tried, Saladin fired back sternly, and failed. Among the Cabal, only the Scions truly understand the antheme. The rest of you would have ended up in prisons of your own making. There is nothing the Cabal cannot conquer with or without the Scions. Keitel shot back. You would do well to remember that, Lord Saladin. Saladin weighed his strategic position. Of course, Empress. He deferred. My apologies. Keitel pushed forward. Tell us some tales of these wish dragons. We would be wise to study our foe. Saladin sighed inwardly. This was not a period of history he gladly recounted. As you wish. Next chapter, The Iron Lord's Tale. Lord Timur waded forward into the shallow pool that rings the islet, listening attentively to the rhythmic lapping of the water. There is a gentle artifice at work here. Each step he takes, however clumsy, stirs a repeating, too perfect echo of the small, small noise. A recording, or an isolated memory, a mimetic transmission cued to overwrite every other sound in the vicinity. He wonders if the last poor villager to come this way wished for peace and quiet. The sound starts again. Timur turns. The Ahamkara lunges at him from the side, its glistening bulk emerging from a span of water too shallow to have ever contained it. Through a shower of black-green liquid, Timur sees his wedge-shaped maw open like a flower. Into all that displaced pond water, Timur summons Void. A row of cavitation bubbles bursts along the underside of the Ahamkara in a cascading shockwave of pale violet fire. It unseams the Ahamkara at the joints, and Timur's lungs nearly cave in. What's left of the Ahamkara crawls to the edge of the islet, panting raggedly. Timur bends to slap once, experimentally, at the surface of the lake. He hears the alarm call of a bird from deeper in the trees. Closer by, he hears Lord Collivance call his name. Timur wades closer to the Ahamkara. Don't you want to know if you're right? The dragon snickers even as it dies. Don't you want to ask me about Clovis Bray? Don't you want to know? He resents the question. I know I'm right, Timur says, but he does want to know. He wants to ask, and badly. He wants. During the entire time he waits for the creature to expire, by the time he has to bite down on his tongue. He is seated on the bank, tipping sludge out of his boots, when Lord Collivance catches up with him. I called out to you, Lord Collivance says, his student equal parts apoplectic and sullen. Perhaps he wanted to fell the beast himself. I know, Lord Timur replies. I had it handled. He lets fondness warm his tone. He'll let Collivance tell the village that their great beast has been slain and bask in the gratitude that follows. Timur's mind is already elsewhere. There is so much more important work to return to, a future to construct from nothing. Let Nerwin and her ilk obsess over their bestiaries. Did you talk to it? Lord Collivance asks. It mentioned Clovis Bray. Timur doesn't say. The taste of copper fills his mouth. No. They walk back in silence. So, sounds like in this book, we're going to be getting lots of bedtime stories from old Sally Poo, telling to the Cabal. But I like that he gives him a jab in the ribs. Says, "No, you guys would have died. The Scions would have had it handled, but you guys would have died."
All right, that takes us to the mailbag. And with here, we got some listener questions, or maybe just some topics that's come out through the week that we want to answer for you all. First question here. Was there enough time between TWIDs that you legitimately forgot when was coming out today?
Yes.
No, I remember it was coming out today. I remember I was sitting down for lunch today. I was like, oh, should have a TWID to look at when I get off work.
No, because I've been looking forward to getting some kind of news today. I wrote it on my calendar at work.
I realized whenever we got a text message from the Dokuro that said, what did it say? Something about the helmet doesn't have to stay on anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's
boys. We will finally be able to make our characters not look like train wrecks. My bad. That's what it said. So, yeah, agreed.
Fix your face.
Question 2: are you going to modify the appearance of your guardian? Kind of touched on this. I don't think I'm going to, just out of principle.
Hunter and Titan are going to become Finneman because they are smaller.
Smaller hitbox.
Smaller hitbox.
Smaller hitbox, maybe. Titan's definitely going to become feminine, and some slight changes because of the exo stuff. I want to see all the options. I can't remember them. My Hunter, I think there's only 2 things I need to change on him. I think he's fine. My Warlock, probably not. Warlock's probably going to stay the same.
I do want to give everybody one piece of advice. Do not do this the first second it becomes available. Let the rest of the community determine if this is going to delete your character or anything like that.
Yeah.
Do not do it until
let someone
other
else work
people
out the
have done
bugs
it.
first.
Don't get on right at reset and do this. Let everybody else do it, and then make sure there's no complaints of people having issues with
Move all the weapons and
your
armor off
character.
your character. Just have nothing but blues on.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just joking about hitboxes. It does look smaller, but every character has the same hitbox, no matter what armor or shape you have on.
Allegedly. Question 3. This is a weird question. Jared's hero, Paul Tassi, had an interesting tweet earlier this week, which led to an article he wrote for a finance and investment magazine. What was your first thought whenever you saw it? So I saw this question, and being the great podcaster I am, I investigated a little further and went in. And the article, the main quote says, the game has reached a point where the missions and expansions and DLCs Bungie put into the content vault have been in the content vault longer than they were in the game in the first place. As in, there have been 1,161 days where the content was out of the Destiny 2 vault to the Beyond Light expansion, which was now released 1,162 days ago as of yesterday. So that was a Destiny Bulletin, apparently, is where he got that data. So basically, things have been in the content vault longer than they were in the game. How does that make you feel?
I think it's kind of just funny at this point, the life cycle that this game has gone through. Looking back, maybe that. I mean, clearly they couldn't have done it with the financials that come out, but Bungie should have took a year off and made a Destiny 3 or Destiny Forever, and then like Shadow Keep On was going to be the new Destiny moving forward. It's like that's when they broke off from Activision and all that stuff, you know. Maybe they could have made it to where Destiny 2, you could have brought the weapons over to Destiny 3 so people didn't lose everything, but then you could just like flip back and forth between games. But yeah. It's just funny at this point that what this exists, because it just breaks other people's brains when you tell them that, like, yeah, I purchased, Destiny 2 Vanilla and it had a campaign. Like, well, how do you play the campaign? You can't. It doesn't exist anymore. But you paid for
It's
it.
no longer with us.
No, I realized I paid for it, but it's gone. And it's just in the vault.
I feel like I'm kind of at the age to where I don't understand the internet anymore, like all the way. Because I feel like all of us are there. Like, we understand that the stuff that went out, like all the seasonal content. Could you imagine if all that stuff was still in, like how bloated this game would be right now? And, like that stuff had to go, but it's like people just want to hate on it, like just to hate on it. Like they don't really need a good reason. It's just people just want to hate on stuff. And I just don't understand that. So I don't think the stuff needs to be in there, but other people, it seems, I think I'm in the minority. Like other people don't seem to really feel that way. So I think with hindsight being 2020, as Jared said, the best thing would have been to have a Destiny 3 and then just left Destiny 2. But obviously that wasn't an option because as they were self-publishing and self-developing the game, they wouldn't have been able to go a year without any source of income. Or probably needed like 2 or 3 years, truth be told.
Yeah.
I agree with Jared.
So, okay, how about this? You could reach into the vault and you could pull one thing out of the vault. What are you pulling out?
One activity,
Yeah.
one thing to do, one.
Yeah, just
thing.
one thing. Yeah, it could be a raid. It could be like a campaign.
Yeah.
It could be a zone. What are you pulling out?
Oof.
Okay, for me,
Do you have any idea?
what I'm pulling out of the vault, if I'm, that one thing, it's Scourge of the Past. Like I love that raid. You can get done in 20 minutes. It's got a sparrow race in it. The weapons, I love those weapons. Like that's what I'm pulling out.
Yeah, that was definitely a great raid. And it'd be fun to see what kind of damage numbers you'd get with the weapons and the meta as it is now.
Yep.
Definitely interesting. Shoot, that's definitely really high up there. Darn it. I mean maybe what's the Mercury one that everybody loved, the seasonal activity?
Sundial?
Oh my gosh. Sundial. With all the rewards and making them craftable.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a good solar linear fusion or something in that season?
Yeah, line in the sand.
Yeah, but it got sunset before linears ever became good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yep.
I think I would have been balling now.
Ryan was holding on to it. He was like, I got this thing. It's so good. And we're all like, okay,
so good.
Ryan. All right. He's like, it's so good.
The thing I would pull out just because it would give the most content would be the Leviathan with the raid layers. Like the Castellum, then you would be able to get like the Leviathan raid plus the other 2 layers that were there with it. That would be the thing, but really I think they should have kept all the raids. Scourge was good. Leviathan was good. Leviathan was okay. It's a good starter raid. But like it being double primary, could you imagine like Gallahorn and 5 rockets?
Man, it'd be fun to tear through now.
Yeah.
Leviathan's good for teaching, not for teaching. It's good for building team coordination really well.
Everybody has to do stuff.
Everybody has to do stuff, and everybody has to take turns. Like each encounter is like you're in twos, and you're both doing something consistently. So forcing people out of their comfort zone, which I think is why people didn't like Leviathan as much.
Yeah, the gauntlet.
Because it made you do something.
Dude, the gauntlet just...
Oh, dude, the gauntlet is where you figured out your weakest links every time.
I hated the garden with the dogs. I hated that one.
I think that
if you didn't have somebody,
slow.
if you didn't have somebody that could that could lead that bottom part, like dude, it was a nightmare. And I couldn't lead it. Like for whatever reason, like I was just always the fog was just enough to throw me off. Like one turn too soon or whatever. Like couldn't do it. I wish I could, but that was
map in my head. Could you imagine if you did that with six strand titans? It's like already everybody pick a dog. You don't have any stacks, and you just go everybody tractors, and then just blows it up.
Yeah,
God, that'd be so much fun to just absolutely annihilate those dogs.
And then Eater of Worlds and Spire of Stars. I really like Spire of Stars. I think I was the only person that did.
I think you could skip the opening.
That was a lot of like getting the ball from point A to point B just to get to that.
Yeah, and then getting the other.
Those
ball
2
from
boss
point A to
encounters.
point B. Yeah.
Yeah. Those 2 boss encounters I always thought were pretty fun, but everybody else seemed to hate them a little more than I did.
Boss room the whole time. Just make it a boss room only.
Yeah. I wasn't crazy about was it Argos? Was that the name of the final boss of Eater of Worlds?
Yeah.
I wasn't super crazy about that because like the people that I ran it the most often with, they all did all the shooty parts. So I was just like ad clear and like damage. I was never one of the crystal shooters or whatever. So I didn't know that one super, super well. But one of those, it might have been Spire that had the shot. Did Spire have the shotgun or did Eater have the shotgun? So it's like Zenith of Your Kind or something like that, I think was the name of it.
Spire. I'm pretty sure that was Spire.
Yeah. That shotgun was good back in the day. That would be my choice.
All right, probably just an honorable mention than the Menagerie. There's a lot of casuals out there that are so happy with that activity. But at the start of it, you could really dupe all them weapons. Like if the duping wasn't at the start of Menagerie, it probably would have been looked back on as so fondly.
Yep.
Yeah, the duping was hilarious.
Right.
Question 4: how did you choose your gamertag / online alias?
Like a nerd. I think like most people, like a nerd.
What alias?
The gamer tag. Dude, I've had this gamer tag since I joined the internet. It's Chato is a character in an anime, and then Cero is Spanish for zero, which is a Mega Man character who's a bad mother trucker. He's cool.
Yeah.
I like him. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
you go shoot a game with a sword. He's cool.
He's the red guy, right?
Yeah, he is the red guy. Yeah.
He's not as good as the blue guy. I got mine. I used to know a guy named Ryan Fox, and since I wasn't him, I'm not Ryan Fox.
Yeah, I didn't want to try to remember another name, so I just put Jared down.
Oh, but you had X's and numbers.
Yeah,
like
so-
a real
Oh, he
gamer
did.
back in the day.
He did have those X's.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's discuss those X's.
yeah. The first letter was
Discuss those X's that you had on
lowercase
there.
x, and then Jared,
Yep, has to be.
and then space, and then 28 was like at the time I was probably like 11 years
That was
old.
my baseball number.
It was my baseball number. It literally was. And then another lowercase x, so I could get the name in
No.
there.
Yeah.
So was Jared space 28 already taken?
Yes.
And then the X's, the gamer X's.
Did you think about putting O's after the X's?
No. The only thing I thought of putting was I's or L's.
69. Yeah, just to really bookend it there
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so smart
right.
at 11 years old,
Yeah, I feel you. I named mine after a person that's not even me. So, time to pick a number between 1 for 100. What's your guys' number?
28. What's up, Moon Wizard?
Well, 34.
All right. Moon Wizard in the chat, give us a number 1 through 100. We're going to do our random number generator roll here. I am going to say 62 for homie Stewart. All right. Third roll. Roll 1. Roll 2. Roll 3. Oh, so close. 52 is the answer. 52 was the roll this week. The number. Follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send us a bunch of friend requests so we can play games together. I'm going to let these other two guys sign off.
Starcrossed. Grandmasters. That's what's going to be going on. If you want to do that stuff, hit me up.
And send in your lore questions. I think I only got like four or five pods left of lore content set. So any questions you got in the next month, send them in.
As always, go Cats. Love you guys.